Grant, thanks for being with us today.
Good to be here, David.
Give us an overview of esports entertainment, of your company, the recent developments, and then talk to us about your platform.
Okay, well, esports entertainment, we have launched what's referred to as a bet exchange platform. We're the first bet exchange in the esports sector. This is where, in a bet exchange platform, the players bet against each other instead of betting against the house. Because we've made that type of an arrangement, we've been very successful in attracting esport personalities, team owners, streamers to sign up as our affiliates. In fact, we have 111 affiliates signed up to date. So they will be marketing our exchange platform to their client base and their viewers. So we're pretty excited about that, of course. We just launched that in March. The affiliate platform fully launched just last week.
How big is the market opportunity for your platform?
The esports fan base is growing so quickly, the industry experts can't even keep ahead of it. Back in 2017, the size of the market eclipsed 350 million in terms of fan base, and it's forecasted to go back 590 million in the next 2 years. So it's increasing tens of millions of people per quarter, which is a huge opportunity, and there's no sign of slowing down. So in terms of the market opportunity, we are talking about an industry nobody's ever seen an industry that's grown this fast before.
And over the next 12 months, how many players do you believe will be using your platform?
Well, in our initial projections, we're looking for 50,000. We believe 50,000 people will sign up and make deposits based on the early results in the last 90 days of over 55 teams signing up to promote our platform. We may find those numbers to be very conservative.
Well, how do you make money? What's the business model?
Well, the business model is we've got the exchange and the players bet against each other, just like the business model in a poker room, where the poker room sets up the secure environment, makes sure that everybody's money's in the bank, makes sure everybody's allowed to be in the room, and then we take a percentage from the win. So we don't take exposure in the transaction like a traditional sportsbook would, and we don't take a position against the players like a traditional sportsbook would. So we just make sure that the regulatory environment's in place, and whoever wins, it's definitely going to be a player, and they're definitely going to get paid.
What percentage do you take on the betting? How does that work?
Okay, our model is that we take 5% off the win. Some of the jurisdictions that we operate in Europe are higher tax jurisdictions. In the event that we are in a high tax jurisdiction, we have to pay the government tax, of course. We could see that we need to take a higher amount of 10% from the win, but generally our take will be 5%.
And are you comfortable with giving any revenue projections, 12, 24 months?
What I can say is if I stick to our initial projections, which as I mentioned, may turn out to be quite conservative, our projections see us as getting revenue positive in the 18 to 24 month timeline. I'd like to make sure that I have some hard data from operations before I give some hard projections. So I'm sure we'll be talking frequently, and I'll be able to give you hard projections by the end of the calendar year. But right for now, we see ourselves as being revenue positive by the end of next year.
And how are you different or better than your competitors?
Well, there's several reasons. One, the exchange. All of our competitors offer a sportsbook model. In our research, we did 2 years of research, deep dive into the esports sector. And what came back resoundingly was that the esports people, the fan base, do not like the sportsbook model where they give their money to the house and then play against the house. And the house has to win the majority of the time. Keep in mind, the average esport player, esport fan, has post-secondary education. So they're, on average, have a higher educational level than the average sports fan, just what the market shows us. So that's the biggest differentiating factor is the bet exchange. Second, we're the only esports company that's publicly traded. So we have the oversight of the SEC, which shows transparency. These are the two main differentiating factors between us and our competitors, and this is why the affiliates are signing up with us in record numbers.
And how does the recent Supreme Court decision on online gambling and gaming affect your business?
This is huge as it pertains to the U.S. market in particular. Of course, being a U.S. listed public company, it's big for us. The reality is it'll probably be 18 to 24 months before the regulatory environment is clear as to how we will proceed, because esports betting will be managed the same way and regulated the same way as traditional sports betting. So there's still a little bit of, well, quite a bit of work to be done before that takes place. But what it does do is it gives the confidence to the marketplace in the United States that this is not an illegal or dirty word industry. This is a legal, regulated industry, and we will operate in a legal, regulated fashion. The U.S. market clearly is huge, and from a stock standpoint, it should make our stock more attractive to U.S. investors.
What is the essential value proposition for investors today? Why should they own the stock?
Well, the simple fact of the matter, this is the fastest growing sector or the fastest growing industry. So the value proposition is we are the only public company in the sector. If somebody is interested in being involved in the gambling side of esports, which, as I mentioned, is the fastest growing section of the entertainment industry, we are not only their best option, we're their only option at this point in time. We also are adding a tournament play platform, which will be rolled out by the end of this calendar year. So we're not just the proverbial one-trick pony. We are going to have two offerings, and the skill play platform, the tournament platform, will be available to American players by the end of this calendar year. So the value proposition is the ability for U.S. investors to get in on a huge market now instead of waiting until there's many competitors and the market's already well down the road. We're at launch.
Excellent. Yeah, it's an exciting story. You've done a great job putting this together, and definitely have major competitive advantages. Grant, thank you so much for being with us today.
David, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.